Okay, good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to today's session organized by SEMS Welfare Foundation. We're truly honored by your presence and look forward to an inspirational and insightful session. So, about the session, the topic for today is the power of a shifted mind, a topic that challenges the mindset to shift towards an out of the box point of view, towards positivity, and eventually materializing our goals through our thought process. To give you a little brief about SEMS Welfare Foundation, it is a registered non-profit organization and is committed to creating social impact through education, skill development, and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative, Digi Saksham, we've trained over 6,000 individuals in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship. We are also working on upskilling inmates in Haryana jails, and we have partnered with universities and colleges and banks to help over 1,500 candidates to find employment. SEMS has emerged as a key force in empowering individuals and especially promoting women's leadership across industries. Now, coming to our speaker for today, we are honored to welcome Ms. Jyoti Pandey, a seasoned career transformation coach with over 15 years of cooperative experience, and she specializes in guiding mid-level professionals who feel stuck or unfulfilled in their characters. And we're so glad to have you, ma'am, today to discuss this topic with us. So to give just a little bit of notice before we start, can you kindly keep your microphones muted so that we don't have any disturbances? And you're welcome to post any questions in the chat box throughout the session. They will be attempted or answered during the Q&A session later on. And also, please note that this session is being recorded. And lastly, please turn on your cameras so that we have an interactive session so that we see all of you. And with that being said, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Ms. Jyoti Pandey. Ms. Jyoti, the platform is yours.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for such a wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. I hope you all guys are doing good. Today, we are heading towards the last day of July, end of first part of quarter 3. Do you realize? Okay, I would really appreciate if you can switch on the camera. In case not, at least interact on chats. All right. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. I'll just share the screen. So today we are talking about the mindset shift. All right. The inner change that transforms everything. And that is the reason what we do really impacts, as we say, our physiology impacts our psychology. So it's all about the change that has to come from inside. Now today we'll be dwelling on the mental shift. So if I ask you, what if one mental shift could unlock your health, relationships, joy, and career? We will be learning the code today. All right. Now, before I just start with the session, I would really like to share a little bit about myself, although Elizabeth has given a brief introduction about myself. So, by education, I'm a lawyer. I practiced for 5 years in Calcutta High Court. After that, I relocated to Mumbai. I worked with top US MNCs 15 years of my life. In 2018, I realized that this is not the ideal life that I am looking for, right? 9 to 5, as you all say. So, this 9 to 5 was really not fascinating for me. So, I invested a lot of money, my time on learning how the pattern works and how we are all embedded in a pattern, whatever we have adopted from our childhood till the date we are today, right? And that's how I understood how the brain works, how mindset shift can get wonders in our life. And that is the session all about. So in 2022, I gave up my full-time job and I started helping professionals, because your mess is your message, helping professionals upskill in their career. So I'll just quickly start. All right, you can see my screen. Yeah, Rajma?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
So this is the question for all of us. Are you operating on autopilot or intentional design? So if we talk about the mindset, there are two sorts of mindset. First is fixed mindset. How do you understand if you are in a fixed mindset or if you are on the other side? So first is reacting to circumstances. It inculcates from belief like I can't change, It's just the way I am. Life happens to me. So basically, we are focusing on problems and we are looking for a shoulder to put the blame on. That is the external blame. I am not educated. I wanted to pursue law, but my parents pushed me to medical field. So putting the blame game, that is the fixed mindset characteristics, leads to stagnation and frustration. This is the only outcome that you can get from a fixed mindset. Now, when we talk about the growth mindset, as we all are heading towards that, so what it is doing, proactively shaping your experience, beliefs like I can learn and grow. I choose my responses. What is the ideal response in any adverse situation? I create my own reality. Focus on solutions or personal responsibility. So here in this case, we are taking the responsibilities rather playing the blame game. And this leads to growth, resilience, and joy in all the areas of our life. All right. Now, I would really like to ask you, what do you
Hello.
understand by a
Mark చదవగలరు
so, what is a shifted mindset? I'll just give you a brief about shifted mindset. So, the understanding is a shifted mindset is the choice that we make regarding cultivating beliefs, attitude, and thought patterns that empower us, foster resilience, and open up to new possibilities in all the areas of our life. So, it's basically moving from why me to try me. All right. So whenever there's a situation that comes, we should be not talking to ourselves, why me? Why this happens to me only? We start playing the victim card. So we have to stop doing that and see that yes, universe or God or whichever entity that you follow, I am not sure. So you have to say, he must have a plan for me, and that is the reason he is throwing these things to me. So try me. Now, the core pillars of a shifted mindset is basically believe in growth, the conviction, how convicted as I know how good I am as a coach. So that is the conviction in me as a coach. The conviction that you can always learn, improve, and adapt. Reframing. Whenever we see challenges, we see that, oh my God, I have not done this. So we have to reframe our statement with ourselves so that we can invite opportunities for learning and development. Ownership, really important, because understanding that what you can't control, you can't control. What you can control is just your response. All right. Now, how do you redesign your reality? How do you redesign your reality? First, we need to understand. So, let me ask you, how many of you do get updates in your mobile, like upgrade required every now and then, like after 3 months or 6 months? We do have an upgradation process. The software is getting upgraded, right? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. So, what we have to do? We have to understand the fixed mindset is the factory setting and the growth mindset is the software update that we have to be intentionally working on. So your failure is by default, success is by intention. If you are heading towards something, that's when there is a possibility that you'll be successful. Otherwise, if you do not try anything, automatically you are a failure. Is that true? Do you guys resonate with whatever I'm saying? Okay. Now, so most of us are in this particular dilemma. We are stuck, maybe in our career, maybe in the office with our bosses, toxic work environment, or maybe we are facing a medical reasoning and we think that we are stuck. So you are underestimating the software between your ears, that is your brain. And today we are going to rewrite it. Now, guys, I'll just stop the share here and would like to understand from you. Do you understand that between our two ears lies a problem solving machine, right? So this problem solving machine always needs a problem in front of you. So whatever are your goals, whatever are your outcomes, it has to be crystal clear in front of you for your brain to get indulged into it and to work on it, work on the solutions. Now understand, if we are in a monotonous life, we are working 9 to 5, getting up in the morning, same regular routine, in the sense you're getting freshen up, then going to office, coming home, spending some time on Netflix, Amazon, or whatever that we can think of, right? So it is an automated process. Now when you are in automated process, the brain is always looking for a problem, is always looking for a problem. You are not able to give the brain a problem, so now the problem is you. Now the brain will understand that, oh my God, she is not doing anything. So that means she do not have self-confidence, she do not have self-esteem, she do not have this, no project. So it is very much advisable to keep a project in front of you, whatever goals that you would like to achieve, maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the line, it has to be written on a piece of paper in front of you so that your brain is looking for solutions. Otherwise, the problem is you, and that is the reason we always have this self-esteem issues, feeling of self-accomplishment which is not there, and all these things. Do you guys resonate with this, what I'm saying? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. Thank you so much. Now I'll just share the screen again. Okay. So first is understanding how the mindset operating system works. So first is which area, or you all can think of, write it on a piece of paper or just keep it in your mind if you are occupied somewhere. Which area feels most blocked right now? Maybe your career or your finances. You are working, you are getting a salary of 12 to 15 lakhs or maybe 26 lakhs, but your finances is not in place. You are always running towards paying the credit card bills. You always have more expenses than your income. So that means your finances is not set, and that is the reason your career is not giving you that much of happiness. Second is your physical or mental health, then your relationship, then your creativity. Most of us, once we get inside the job, we just left the creativity part or the passion. What drives us? What are the skills that exclusively we possess? And your inner peace for sure. So basically, why we are talking about this is your pain point is a clue. It's where your mindset is on autopilot. Now, our main motive through this particular program is to make your autopilot go moving. That is the main thing, and there the mindset shift comes into picture. All right. Now, so this is the shift equation which all of us needs to follow religiously day to day, whatever activities that you're doing. So first is when you think of getting that promotion, maybe from a senior associate leadership, you're getting to senior leadership, or maybe you are getting promoted as a team leader. So there is a trigger, there is a pain that will I be able to do it? Will I be able to do it? And all those questions. I am 120 kgs. Will I be able to reduce those 20 kgs of my weight? Right? So there is a trigger. The pain stucks to your brain. There comes the limiting belief. So when we talk about health, most of us talk about it is in my DNA. I will not be able to reduce that weight. I will not be able to shed that 20 kgs, right? Apart from that, when we talk about leadership, it's all about if I am getting promoted as a team leader, I have never done that. How will I do this? I'm not excelled at that. So that is the limiting belief. So it is a 5-step process, guys. If you understand and do it religiously, you will be able to start seeing the shift in your day-to-day life. So first is pain, then comes your limiting belief. Now, the limiting belief has two things. Either it can stop you or it can understand if you console it. So your job here is to console your limiting belief. It's okay, you have not done that, but what is the harm in learning? What is the harm in understanding? That's where we talk about reframe portion. That is the step 3. So once you reframe it, once you get into that mindset of learning and adapting a new environment, new workplace, or maybe a new image altogether, the new action arises. There is a need for new action. Now, how will you start the new action? You will have to make a plan, and it has to start from micro action, 2 minutes, 5 minutes activity, just to reassure your brain that yes, it is doable, right? So trigger, limiting belief, reframe, new action, and there happens the transformation. All right. Now, there are certain examples for health. Old belief is I hate exercises, because you may have experienced, your body knows. As I said, your body knows what you want better than your brain. So your body will say I hate exercises. Now you have to reframe this to I honor my body with 10 joyful minutes daily. For relationship, if we talk about my partner never listens, this is the problem with the most of us, right? Our boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, they don't listen to us, right? Now, what you need to do is reframe. Reframe this. What need of mine isn't being met? What am I complaining about? Right? If we reframe those questions, automatically those questions will give you the option. And how can I express it kindly? If even if he's not listening to me, what is the point of shouting or yelling? I can rather talk to him politely, right? Creativity. So someone says, I'm not artistic. When was the last time you took a piece of pencil or a pen and start crafting something. Even our, looking at Google Images or something, right? So you have to reframe this to creativity is play, not perfection. All right. So this is how it works. Now I'll give you the breakdown of all these 5 steps and you will understand. Now, first is trigger pain. Now, this pain is actually the catalyst. Suppose something is happening in your life, about to happen. You have to enter a room of 500 people and you have to deliver a speech. Maybe. So, this is the pain which you are thinking in your brain. But actually, it is a catalyst, right? It is helping you grow. How many of you understood that if you would not have been given this opportunity, you would not have been able to reveal that this particular side of yours? No, right? So this is actually a catalyst. So there is an event that is happening. What happens is your amygdala, brain's threat detector, it gives you a threat. Oh my god, Jyoti, you have never done this. How will you do this? What will happen if people start laughing? What will happen? So all these negative thoughts starts coming in. So this triggers stress or fear amongst us. Examples are, if you can see, career, missing a promotion, health, doctor's warning, doctor has given you are suffering from diabetes or cholesterol, and automatically these amygdala starts functioning. Skill, public speaking failure, right? In the past, you may have had an instance wherein you were not able to perform that much. So that is an evidence that is working against you. What we have to do is I'll share with you going forward, I'll share with you the small tricks that you can use to utilize your brain in your favor. Now comes the science behind it. What happens when the amygdala starts working, starts threatening you, creating stress or fear? Painful events create cognitive dissonance, mental discomfort when reality clashes with self image. As I said, there is past evidence. There is past evidence you were not good. What will happen now? Again, the same thing is going to happen, right? Brain seeks to resolve this either through growth, means you are taking that step, or retreat, staying in your comfort zone. These are the two actions of amygdala. All right. Now, next come is limiting belief. What are the beliefs that inculcates in us? The mental block. So, default narrative emerges from fixed mindset wiring. Like, I am not leadership material. If you have not got that particular promotion, maybe 5 or 7 people were hunting for that particular position, you were one amongst them. Now this is a belief. 3 times you were not able to get that position. This is something that has become your limiting belief. I am not a leadership material. Change is impossible for me. I don't have the talent. Now what is the science? Once we understand the science behind it, it is much easier for us to move forward. So, limiting beliefs are actually the mental shortcuts formed from past experiences. Now, MRI studies show these beliefs light up the default mode network, which is brain's self-referential center, reinforcing negative self-talk. Now, I'll just stop the share here and would love to ask you, how many of you had this particular situation in your life wherein you thought that this situation, oh my god, I have failed enough. It's already been 3 or 4 or 5 times that I was not promoted, instead of my manager telling me that yes, this is your chance. Any one of you, you can share your thoughts in the comments.
Yes, yes, madam.
Thank you,
I was chief manager in HL Lucknow, and when I got an interview of PGM, I went for the interview. My boss was thinking that I will get promoted, but I was not promoted. So this situation was there with me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ghanshyam, for sharing this. Yes, exactly. That's what happens because that is the reference that we are getting from our past experience. Others, if you are still awake, you can at least converse through chat. I'm completely okay if you don't want me to look at your beautiful faces, but at least converse in the chat. All right. So the mental block is all about the past experiences. Now, moving ahead, the third step, the reframe, how to reframe the mindset shift. What happens actually when you try to reframe? Consciously replace limiting belief with evidence-based truth, right? What you can think of at that moment is, suppose you were called at a party, at a house warming party, or maybe party at a friend's place. At that point in time, you were asked to say some good words about Jyoti Pandey, right? So it is not a big stage, but at least you were able to perform. You were able to say few good things about your friend, about your family members, right? So it's not because I failed because I am incompetent. You have to show this to change or reframe this to this shows where I need to grow. This will give you the opportunity that these are the areas wherein more skill is required, right? So your brain definitely can rewire if you believe you can, because 100% of the times it's all about your belief. It's all about, if you think that you can do it, your brain will give you 100 evidences showing that yes, you can do it. If you believe you cannot do it, trust me guys, your brain will start giving you evidence from today morning that you cannot do it. So it's all about what you believe. Thank you so much, Ghanshyam, for putting on the camera. Now, what is the science behind it? Reframing activates the prefrontal cortex, that is your rational brain, overriding amygdala hijacks. So amygdala, what amygdala is trying to do? It's trying to hijack us with showing us the proof that you were not good. You were not able to do it in the past, right? It overrides that. Now, studies show reframing reduces cortisol, that is a stress hormone, by 23%. If you just go and read this study by University College London, you will see the evidence right in front of you. It is not me or any coach talking to you. It is your whole body. It's your brain. It's your mindset talking to you. So if you implement that, miracles can happen. And this also boosts problem solving accuracy by 31%. So, okay, now let's go to the fourth step, new action. How the neural rewiring is done. Here, I would like to ask you, how many of you knows are comfortable making a cup of tea? How many of you are comfortable in making a cup of tea?
I make daily.
Wow. Great. Anyone of you knows how to make Vivek? Thank you so much. Do you guys know how to make a cup of tea? Oh, forget about tea. What about Maggie? 2-minute noodles? Great. Thank you, Bhumi. Thank you, Rajma. Thank you, Shivani. Right. So if you make cup of tea, what makes you believe that you are capable of making tea? Because at one point in time, maybe in acute scarcity, when your spouse is not there, when your partner is not there, when you have started living in isolated away from your family, that time you gave it the first try. It may not have been good, but after repeated reiteration, you are capable of making a good cup of tea. Okay? What happens is, whenever you're doing something again and again and again, so there comes the topic of atomic habits, small things repetitively, right? So all the brain, all it needs is repetitions. Once the repetition is there, new neural connection is established. All right, new neural connection established. That way you can start believing yourself. Now if I ask Ghanshyam that you can go ahead and make a cup of tea, if I ask you, Ghanshyam, can you take this particular responsibility that has been delivered by the director of your organization right now?
Which responsibility?
Any particular task which is so far being delivered by the director of your organization. You are not yet, suppose, even if you are not yet director of the organization.
Yeah.
Correct? So at that point in time, we start feeling resistant that we will not be able to do it only because we have not done it once. If we are doing it again and again and again and again, a new neural pathway will get made, and automatically you will be pro at that point in time. Okay, that's how.
Definitely. I was a systematic manager, and in the beginning, the report writing was done by my boss. But I learned the technique of report writing from him, and repeatedly I had to send the report to corporate office. So I learned that technique, and I was the master of that writing the report.
Wow. That's remarkable. Yes, thank you, Ghanshyam, for sharing that win. So, all we are trying to do is taking deliberate, scaffolded actions aligned with the new belief. If you believe that you are capable, your brain, your body, every bit of it will get involved in it. So, for example, after reframing, I can learn leadership action. There has to be action, guys, because even affirmations without action is the recipe for failure. So all you need to do is back it up with action. So what you do? Micro practice, leading 5-minute team hurdles. You are in a team, you don't know leadership, you're not getting promoted to that particular position. So give evidence, start giving evidence to yourself that yes, you are a leadership material. Lead 5 minutes team hurdles. Second is skill building, taking feedback courses. So in today's date, AI is time, we have a lot of courses that is available on Udemy, Coursera. Just take the minutest one, which is for 15 hours or 28 hours. Take that course. It will cost you 499, 599, 699, something like that, right? So build on that particular skill where you want to skill at. Accountability, joining a peer mastermind. Now, I would like to ask you guys, do you know what is the meaning of the term mastermind? Any one of you have any clue? what a mastermind group is? Okay, guys, you can at least use your fingers to type. Thank you so much, Vivek.
Who triggers
Okay.
the mind of others to
Okay.
lead the goal, to
Okay.
achieve the goal.
Okay.
The mind which triggers the minds of others to achieve the goal. That's the mastermind.
Okay, so Ghanshyam and everyone else, the mastermind is a group of people who are heading towards a common vision or a common goal. So, suppose in today's date, if I want to become a billionaire, I would associate myself with people who are already billionaires or at least who are on a journey to become a billionaire. That's what the mastermind group is. If you want to be a physical fitness trainer or a person who is physically fit, you have to associate yourself with people who are day in and day out thinking about physical fitness. They're talking in their language, their food habits, everything is related to physical fitness. If I want to become a singer, you have to get associated with all the singers around, or maybe who is aspiring to become Alka Yagnik, Sonu Nigam, and all these things, right? The characteristics that we have in Bollywood or Hollywood. So you have to associate yourself with similar mindset people. That is called the mastermind. Now, Ghanshyam, what is the beauty of this mastermind? The beauty of this mastermind is even 4 days, I am reluctantly, like consistently working on this particular journey. 4 days later, what will happen? My motivation drops down. So if I have my accountability partner as Najma will ensure that Jyoti, you have to do this. You have to go on that particular session. You have to take that call. She will pull me, right? So that is the power of mastermind. They will not let you go down. That is the beauty, right? So you have to associate yourself with a mastermind group. Whatever you want to be skilled at, you have to be around those people, right? Now, what is the science behind it? Let us understand. New action triggers neuroplasticity. That is a science, not something that Jyoti Pandey made up. Repeated action build myelin sheath around neural pathways, making skills automatic, right? So if I ask, as I gave you the example of making a tea, anyone can go who all have done it in the past, just can go and make a cup of tea. Someone who is so pro as a public speaker, even if they have been given an impromptu topic, they will just go and talk about it because it is in their muscle memory. So all we have to do is get the same thing in your muscle memory. Now the dopamine reinforces learning loops. That is the progress feedback. Okay. Now the step 5. What is the step 5? The new reality. How do you create your new reality? What happens is sustained action. If you are able to do something again and again consistently for 6 days, 21 days, 33 days, it is said that 21 days if you're doing something, so someone is thinking about reading a book from last 2 years, right? I have a client who has been thinking about reading a book from last 2 years. Now what we did is we asked him, set a particular time, do not read at your convenience. You cannot have your lunch, have your dinner, have your breakfast, get over with all the rituals, and that's when you can go and read. No, it doesn't happen like that. You set up a time at 8 a.m. in the morning. You can set up at 12:30. You can set up at 2 p.m., right? Whatever is the time, you have to stick to that particular time, that this is the time for me to read a book. Now, generally, if you are reading 20 pages a day or maybe half an hour a day, in case of extreme emergency, when you do not have time, at least go and read a paragraph. Read a paragraph. That will build consistency and that will keep you on track. So that will become your new reality. So sustained action, embodied competence, leadership confidence, health around skill mastery. Now, what is the science behind it? If you would like to go and read what is the Hebb's law, neurons that fire together, wire together, right? So if you're doing something again and again and again, you are automatically automating the process and you are getting that process into muscle memory, right? Now, after 66 days, that is the average habit study, new actions become basal ganglia patterns. That is automatic behavior. If you are able to do something consistently, even for 5 minutes for 66 days, new actions become your pattern and automatic behavior. Now, what are the physical changes that occur? So, London taxi drivers, I'll give you the story, and musicians, how they practice again and again and again, and automatically they are skilled at it. Okay. Now, These are the 5-step process that I told you. So if you can see why this cycle works, because first is your trigger, every activity, whatever you're going to do. So anyone, if you're going to give a presentation on something, automatically your stress starts getting released. Your amygdala is in action. Now comes your limiting belief. You have never done this. This is step 2. What we need to do is we need to reframe through your thoughts, through your actions, through your evidences that's in the past. You have to recreate new action plan, builds new neural network, and the transformation embeds behavior as automatic competence. Now, how many of you are eager or ready to follow the 5-step process that I told you? No one? You want me to repeat, or if it is not clear, I am glad to repeat it. I think everyone is awake, right? I know it is afternoon. You may be feeling a little drowsy if you are home, but then at least use your fingers to type in the chat box. Ghanshyam sir, I admire you, man. Always active. Now, let me give you a story about the London taxi drivers. Now, why this story is famous, London taxi drivers, if you may have known. So, before you get your driver's license in London, what happens is London taxi drivers are given a task wherein they have to remember 25,000 streets and landmarks. So that is, they go through an intense training, and that training is called the knowledge, right? So if I put you all to that particular training, you have to remember 25,000 streets and landmarks for them just to get a license. In India, what is happening? Your exams are being given by someone else, and then that's how you get a license. And then you go on the road and then you bang on, right? That's what is happening in India. But in London, this is something that is happening. Now, the MRI studies revealed that this mental workout leads to increased size of hypothalamus, right? That's a part of your brain. If you don't know, just go on Google and figure out what is hypothalamus. That is the brain center for spatial memory. This, what happens is, this rewires the brain to meet the challenge. So all the taxi drivers, everyone is remembering those 25,000 streets and landmarks, right? Now, I'll give you another example, which is example of professional musicians. So what these professional musicians do, they just don't improve their skill, they reshape the brain. And musicians show enhanced development in the auditory cortex, especially when we talk about your pitch, your tone, your rhythm, your saregamapa that we call in India, right? So they rebuild it again and again and again, and that's how they develop this particular part of their brain. So their focus and repetition creates long-lasting neural upgrade. So the point here is we need to understand your brain isn't fixed. It's constantly evolving only if you allow this to. So if you are eager to do something, give it a try. If you are not trying anyways, you are 100% failure. But if you give it a try, at least there is 1% chance that you may succeed. So when you shift your mindset, whether to learn, lead, or grow, it sets off a chain reaction in your neurology. With the right intention and practice, you don't just change your thoughts, you change your brain design. And that has been shown in a lot of studies. If you are interested, I can send you the links. You can just go ahead and, all right. So if anyone is interested in knowing these studies, please feel free. So thank you so much, AKM Thoidul Alam Khan. Now I'll share the screen again so that you understand. Okay. Now, first is we will talk about what are the areas wherein you can get connected and understand how this is impacting you in your career. Now understand, when we talk about your career is career stagnation. Many of us, we join an organization, and this happened to me also. This is not a rocket science that happens once a blue. It happens to each one of us. If you are stuck at a place for more than 3 years, brain automates the situation. Every day you are going at the same time in cafeteria, you're coming out to have that vada pav bhajia, then you are packing your bags, you're taking that cab, you're going home, right? So your trigger, first is your trigger is denied a promotion for the third time. I gave this example a couple of minutes back. Denied a promotion for the third time. So what your amygdala will do? It spikes the cortisol by 27%. And what it does, it stops your thinking capacity. When you give yourself, okay, that is the reason we ask us that we should be asking open-ended question. So if I ask Ghanshyam, how are you? You will say maybe good, awesome, wonderful, These are things, right? How has your day been yesterday? So there is hell lot of things for any one of us to talk. How our mornings were, afternoons were, night was, So we have to give it a open, okay, I have failed. I did not get a promotion, but what if there is a scope of learning? There is a skill that was missing in me, right? So the limiting belief, the first thing that will trigger is I am not a leadership material. Now, you need to understand this term. This is called default mode network. The limiting belief, the step two, this actually automatically activates. This reinforces old self perception neural pathways. And that's why we remain in our own mediocrity, like we call marinating in our own mediocrity, right? So, what we need to do not get hit by limiting belief. Reframe is leadership is a skill. So, how many of us have learned this leadership or public speaking or maybe a different language which is not our native? So, my native is Hindi. How did I learn English? When I was in my mother's home, right? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. So, we came to this world and that's how we learned through our exposures. We got exposed to certain situation and that's how we learn. So we have to reframe. Leadership is skill, not DNA. My prefrontal cortex can rewire with practice. Now you don't need to remember the term prefrontal cortex. You can say my brain can rewire with practice, right? So what happens is when you are reframing, it activates the dorsolateral PFC, which overrides amygdala. Amygdala is creating all that anxiety and fear and all those given past experiences, right? So it reduces the cortisol by 18%. This is study by Ukla 2018. Now, new action. What is the new action that you'll do? 10 minutes per day, micro leadership. Resolve one team conflict. You are not a leader, but at least you are a team member. That's what we call teamwork. If there are 2 or 3 people who are not in agreement towards something, you can resolve one team conflict. Monthly feedback loops with mentor. Definitely your manager or your team leader will not ask you month on month or week on week that let's go have a performance review. They may miss. There are a lot of things. We say life happens. So don't let life happen to you. You can take a leap and take a stand also. Monthly feedback loops with mentors that builds myelin on new neural circuits, skill automation. That is Hebb's law, right? Now transformation promoted within 9 months, team engagement increased by 40%, and that's how it becomes automated. Second is health or weight loss. We all say that, oh my God, I am trying everything, but I'm not able to lose weight. So, first of all, losing weight is an incorrect statement. You lose something when you wanted, you have it, that's when you lose. Like I lost my mobile in Kenya in the month of March. So I love that portion of me, and that is the reason I am using the term loss. So you first of all do not use the word. I want to become at a perfect shape or a perfect weight or a perfect health, whatever you want to say. Now, you go to a doctor, doctor says you are pre-diabetic. Now, amygdala starts working. Insular cortex triggers stress eating loops. I am genetically doomed to be overweight, so automatically you will start getting those loops, limiting belief. Reframe it, you have to reframe it intentionally. Food habits rewire my hypothalamus. Each healthy habit build my metabolism, right? Whatever you're eating, you are talking to your food, you are talking to yourself that this is gonna help me get into my perfect weight. This will help me get into my perfect weight. Now, new action. What is the action? As I said, even affirmations without action is the recipe for failure. So what you're gonna do? You will swap soda with water. Neurochemical reward system reset. 5 minutes daily mobility exercise. Do not do anything. At least sit on the chair, sit on the table, and do 5 mindful breathing. That's how you can reset your brain. Dopamine shifts from sugar, movement rewards, creates new craving pathways. Transformation lost 30 pounds. It's all about your mindset that you can do all these things. You do not need to go to a doctor or a psychiatrist or a therapist. You can do all these things on your own. Let's move on. Public speaking fear. How many of us have this particular fear? Me, everyone, right? Only because we have not learned it in our mother's womb. Until the time we will not take a step or the stage, you will not be given a stage, right? So first, what happens is when you hear first time that you have to speak, panic attack, automatically your body will start shivering, you will start stammering, there will be sweat all around here, right? So amygdala overdrive releases glutamate, freeze. ऐसा हो जाता है क्या किसी के साथ? Happened to me when I was in class 8, when my father used to be a teacher in one of the government school. On Independence Day, teachers kids were asked to come and give a speech. So I created a beautiful speech. I did the practice, I did the rehearsal. My father did the editing because at that point in time we did not have AI, right? So I went on stage. The topic was Mera Bharat, Aaj Ka Bharat. That's like my country, India. So I started with, we all are Indians. And that's where I froze. That's where I froze, guys. Literally, all my teachers' friends came and they came running and they were trying to console me and everything. And my father was stunned, was just looking at me like this. And that was the day. I did not get a bash, I did not get a scolding, nothing like that. But that was the day. That was the defining moment for me. That is the day when I talked to myself that if this is the stage where I am gonna freeze, this will not take me long, right? So I will be the one who will be talking in the highest stage on the city, in the city, inside the city. So I chose to become a lawyer, wherein I practiced for 5 years in Calcutta High Court, and that's how I overcame this fear. So your fear will go only by taking action and nowhere else, right? So basically, what happens to most of us, I am wired to fail at speaking. This is what your limiting belief talks to you. How will you reframe? Anxiety is just unused synaptic energy. It's just the biology. You can say this is just the biology, right? New action, record 1 minute video daily. That is very simple. No one is watching, your mobile is in your hand. Just record that 1 minute video. Neuroplasticity drilling. Join Toastmasters. You can join a lot of groups that is available in your city also, right? Transformation. Keynote 500% conference rated 9.2 out of 10. If you are consistently putting videos on any social media platform, that is giving you boost. People are appreciating. See, 100% people will not like you. Even in this particular forum, I'm sure there are people who may not like the way I'm talking. So whenever I create videos on my social media, maybe Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, people say, why don't you talk in native? Hindi would be better for you. I say yes, but it's not my choice. There's something that I choose, right? So it is all up to you. So why the cycle is biologically inevitable? Because pain triggers neuroplasticity. Your stress hormone literally make the brain more malleable. Reframing is neural programming. If you reframe everything again and again and again, automatically there is a neural programming, neural pathway that will get created. And this is not talking Jyoti Pandey. This is the UCSF study, right? Action builds brain highway. 5 days of repeated action thickens cortisol maps by 0.55 mm. Right. Now, we need to understand, guys, our brain is not hardware, it's firmware. When there is a trigger, your amygdala is shouting, danger. What? Fight or flight, fight or flight. So everyone is into relax, sit on the couch, watch Netflix. There are a lot of shows which is getting telecast every day, man. What is the need of getting into that mess, right? That's what we think. And then we sit at the comfort of our sofa, couch, whatever. But what happens when we take that step? Your limiting belief, your one reframe flips the script. Micro action builds new neural highway. And in 66 days, transformation isn't motivation, it is autopilot, right? Now, this is the 5 why exercise that you all can go through, right? So whenever there is a trigger, emotional reaction, whenever there's a situation that is new to you, first is you have to ask the first why. Why did I react this way? Okay. The answer to that why will be the second question. Felt criticized. Why did I feel criticized? Because I will be judged by people around me who don't know ABC of public speaking, but they are the ones who will be judging me. And I'm getting scared that people will be judging me, right? Why did I feel criticized? Perceive judgment. Third, why did I perceive it that way? It may be a moral to all of us that if she can do it, definitely all of us can do it. Question number 3, why did I perceive it that way? Insecurity about skill. Why am I insecure? Fear of failure from past. Again, the limiting belief. The same cycle loops in, right? So why does the fear linger? Unresolved past experiences. So for what we have to do here, reframe and plan. Challenge limiting belief, develop growth strategies. Now, this is one of the interesting tool that you all can follow if you are any point in time you are scared of a situation, you want to reset your brain. The yet principle. Career wise, if you talk about, I don't have my dream job yet, I don't have my dream job yet, I can apply to this position, I do networking with these many people, I go to social media and connect with those many people, right? So yet principle. Yeah. Health, I can't run a mile, yet I can start with 5 minutes of walking, yet I can start with 5 minutes of running. I can't run a mile, yet yet will give you an edge that you can start small. Question flip, relationship. Why is my teen so distant? How can I connect in their language? Why is my teen so distant? Why this person is talking bullshit? Why this person is always talking crap? All these things will come in, right? But you need to reframe that question. Is it the right forum for me to discuss this thing, right? So your questions to yourself will give you the answers and will reset the mindset. Now, gratitude framework. People look at their house and they say, my house is chaotic. But instead of chaotic, you can say that I have a hope full of life. There are people around who are jolly, who are enjoying all these things, right? Evidence hunting is really important. As I have been telling you, I always fail. Now, whenever you are thinking of you're not able to do something, you need to figure out it automatically in your head. What are the 3 times I bounced back? Maybe few of you, couple of you, maybe good at math, science, history, geography, English, all those things, right? So that is a win-win for you. Now, this is your journey that starts now. What you need to do is, first is identify your limiting belief. One belief that you need to identify today, what's holding you back, what you want to do, but you are not able to do. Think about an area in your life where you feel stuck or frustrated, maybe health, relationship, personal finance, or a project that you have been procrastinating. What's one core belief you hold about yourself or that situation that might be limiting your progress? For instance, I'm too old to learn something new, or I'm just not good with money. People always let me down. Okay, so you have to write it down. This is first is identifying, because understand, first step towards improvisation is identifying that there is a problem. Right now, you need to identify what is the problem in your thought pattern. Second is reframe your narrative. Rewrite your story from limitation to liberation. How can you phrase it in a way that is empowering, positive, and growth oriented? Instead of I am bad at public speaking, try I am a developing speaker. I am a speaker in progress. So no one is perfect. We are all in process, right? And I am learning to connect with my audience with every practice, or I am learning to manage my finances responsibly. Now, the shift number 3, that's step number 3 for you all. Embrace the and mentality. You can call it however also. I'm not good at this. However, if I start learning this, I will be this. I'm not good at this, and there is a scope of learning. So, life isn't always either or. It embraces the and, acknowledging challenges and seeking opportunity, feeling fear and taking action. So, instead of I'm either a success or a failure, that is, you're giving a full stop. Do not give a full stop in any statement when it is related to your life. All you have to do is give it a comma. So, remove all full stops with a comma. It becomes I experienced a setback and or however I learned valuable lesson that will help me succeed next time, or I'm busy and I can still make time for what's important to me. Now your first step, micro action challenge. What is that one micro action that you're going to take today or do today? Why we're talking about micro steps? Because small consistent actions build momentum and solidify your thought pattern. So don't try to change everything at once. One tiny actionable step that you have to identify that you will take in next 24-48 hours that reflect your shifted mindset in any area of your life. So I'll give you examples. Have that difficult conversation with empathy. There is a person you don't want to talk to. The person is very loud, very shabby, or very irritating. Then too, you have to start a conversation. That is the difficult conversation. Understand if the person may have gone through some XYZ things in his or her life, right? So how you can be empathetic about that situation. Spend 10 minutes learning something new. Start reading a book or start following someone. Maybe you can just go and follow me on social media, on Netflix, or on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. I am there on all the social media because I am a creator. So start following something, start learning something. Take a mindful breathe when you feel stressed and forgive yourself for a past mistake. Past is gone. We have to focus on the front view. Now, the shifted mindset takeaway. Mindset shapes the brain literally. What you focus on grows. You focus on a problem will 500x itself. Now you understand this is the problem. However, this is the problem. What is the learning opportunity? This is the problem. What can I do about it? Right? When you train your mind with intention, you literally reshape your brain. because your mindset is not just mental, it's biological, right? Now, why this works for you? Because it gives you clarity and prioritization, keeps focus tight, only one theme per day. That's what you're focusing on. Goal setting, if you want to do something, understanding that between your two ears is a brain that is a problem solving machine. If you do not give it a problem, you are the problem, and it will start giving you all those fear and anxiety topics. Now, stress reduction uses 80-20 flexibility and micro shift to reduce overwhelm, time management, and supportive environment. As we talk about mastermind, create your own mastermind. If you don't know how to create it, come to me, I'll guide you. Okay. So this was about the shift in the mindset. We are open to questions. If you have anything, please feel free to ask. You can ask in the chat or at least show your beautiful face to me. Okay, guys, let me ask you one question. You may have got that particular situation in your life when you were really happy and you feel overwhelmed, right? You're really happy, you are overwhelmed, and you don't know how to get back on floor, right? So let me ask you, what is that one statement that can make a happy person sad and a sad person happy? When you are really happy, you don't know how to get on your toes. You are talking to everyone in a very arrogant manner. That's the time one statement that can change your state instantly. And if you are really sad, the same statement works. Any one of you, would you like to take a guess?
Yes, if a person is very happy, if you tell him that something incident happened in your house or in your family, somebody died or some fire is there in the house, they will become immediately sad.
Okay, Ghanshyam, but that is situational based. I'm talking about a generic statement. A generic statement that can make a happy person sad and a sad person happy. Guys, give it a try. Come on. You guys are awake, I know. Behind the cameras.
I think minimizing or undermining the situation, telling them that, okay, you're too happy for something that's very small, or when you're sad, it can also be, or you're too sad for something that is too small, don't worry about it.
Yeah, some very near Elizabeth. So, anyone, would you like to give it a try or should I share? अरे यार हाँ तो बोलो. Yes, yes, Najma.
This too shall pass.
Awesome. Yes, yes, Ratu, thank you so much. Yes, so when you are really happy, if you say someone, hold on, this too shall pass. If you are really sad, things are not working the way you want, and if you say this to a person, this too shall pass. So this is one of the statement which works in both the scenarios. Now, I'll give you one thing to you guys. So as we say, our physiology determines our psychology. If we are not taking action, we are not doing something productive. So that means automatically our brain will take us to that reluctant mode wherein you will be in an organization in the same frustrated relationship 3 years, 5 years, 7 years down the line, right? Now, you may have heard of Alexander the Great. Anyone who doesn't know Alexander the Great, if you know, at least type a yes, 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 yes in the chat box. That is enough for me to get motivated. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Najma, Ratul, Amisha. Rest of all, please wake up. It's already time for you to go and enjoy the rest of your life. So, one thing is, Alexander the Great, after leading most of the cities and entire country, India, right? Alexander the Great, he used to have a person as a soldier in front, just immediately where Alexander is, right? And the only job that this person has to do is, you know what, guys? Anyone, any clue? When he was overwhelmed, that, oh my God, I am
Know
the king.
yourself. Know yourself.
Good. The statement is, but you are just a human, not a god. Although you are doing this, you are doing this, you're doing this, but you are just a human, not a god. So, having said that, thank you so much, guys. I think I am good to go now. Any feedback, anything that you would like to learn more, just let me know. I would be glad to inculcate this in my further session, or anything that you would like to share. Any one of you. Ratul, Amisha, or Alam Khan, if you would like to just talk for a few seconds because I have been talking since 1 hour, I really would appreciate. Or any one of you. Thank you so much, Ghanshyam. अरे यार तुम लोग को बात करना सिखाना पड़ेगा अगली बार से हम बात करने कल ही तो नजमा ने सेशन लिया था yesterday Najma took a session on communication all these things. What are you guys doing? At least talk. Engineer Deepak Tiwari, would you like to say something? Thank you so much, Vivek. Dr. Suresh Kumar. Okay, fine. Elizabeth, over to you. Thank you so much for facilitating the session. I really enjoyed it because this is something that I love doing day in and day out.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I wanted to give the others a chance to speak, but from my personal standpoint, I'd like to say what jumped out to me the most was the importance of assessing your life and your mind, as well as reframing your mindset. I also learned about the limiting belief to not doubt yourself when you're facing a challenge. So that was very beautiful, ma'am. And then as you do that, I would like to say in closing that we really appreciate your time, Ms. Pandey, and we appreciate your insights, and we thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to give us this enriching topic. I believe it was very relevant for everyone who was here, and we look forward to hearing from you more in the future.